This girl is becoming another thing to me. What is she doing with this guy again? Ada thought and drove away. Later in the day, Princess Kioma decided to pay a visit to Ada's house. As she approached Ada's house, her mind replayed the scene she had witnessed earlier. Ada and Abina, walking together, laughing and smiling. A surge of jealousy and possessiveness drove her to confront Ada. She arrived at Ada's doorstep, her royal presence commanding attention. Ada, surprised by the unexpected visit, greeted her with a respectful curtsy. "Princess Kioma, what brings you here?" Ada asked, her eyes wary. "I saw you with Abina," Princess Kioma stated, her voice firm but controlled. "I want you to stay away from him." Ada's eyes widened, her face calm. "I don't understand, Princess. Abina and I are just friends." Princess Chioma's eyes narrowed. "Don't play games, Ada. I know what I saw. You're not suitable for him. He deserves someone of royal blood, not a commoner like you." Ada's face flushed, her voice steady. "I may not be royalty, but I have a good heart and a genuine connection with Abina. You can't dictate who he associates with." Princess Chioma's eyes flashed with anger, but she knew she couldn't reveal her true feelings. "Fine, but mark my words, Ada. Stay away from Abina, or face the consequences." With that, the princess turned and left, leaving Ada feeling shaken but determined to follow her heart. The following day, Abina arrived at Ada's parents' house, eager to see her again. He was warmly received by her family, who welcomed him with open arms. Ada, however, seemed hesitant, her eyes clouded with concern. "Abina, we need to talk," Ada said, leading him to a quiet spot outside. "What's wrong?" Abina asked, sensing her unease. Ada took a deep breath. "Princess Kioma came to my house yesterday. She warned me to stay away from you." Abina's eyes widened in surprise. "What? That's absurd." Ada's eyes locked onto his. "She said I'm not suitable for you, that you deserve someone of royal blood." Abina's face set in determination. "Ada, I don't care about royal blood or social status. I care about you, your kindness, your heart. We have something special, and I won't let anyone dictate our relationship." Ada's face lit up with hope. "Really, Abina? You'd stand up to the princess for me?" Abina's eyes shone with conviction. "For you, Ada, I'd face the entire kingdom. We'll follow our hearts, no matter what." Together, they shared a courageous smile, their bond stronger than any royal decree. Later in the evening, Princess Kioma arrived at Abina's parents' house, determined to win his heart. She was greeted warmly by his family, but Abina's expression was reserved. Abina took Princess Kioma in her hands as they both walked to a private place. "Princess Kioma, what brings you here?" Abina asked, his tone polite but distant. "I came to confess my feelings to you, Abina," Princess Kioma said, her voice trembling. "I realize I was wrong to warn Ada away from you. I truly love you, and I want to be with you." Abina's expression remained unchanged. "Princess Kioma, I appreciate your honesty, but my heart belongs to Ada. I love her, and I cannot reciprocate your feelings." Princess Chioma's face fell, her eyes welling up with tears. But I'm a princess. I can offer you a life of luxury and royalty." Abina's voice was gentle but firm. "I don't want a life of luxury, princess. I want a life with Ada, filled with love, laughter, and purpose. Please understand." Princess Chioma's face contorted in anger and sadness. "Fine, Abina, but know that you're making a mistake. Ada is not worthy of you." With that, she stormed out of the house, leaving Abina feeling relieved but also sympathetic towards the princess's unrequited love. Princess Kioma retreated to her room, her heart heavy with sorrow. She couldn't understand why Abina didn't reciprocate her feelings. She felt like she had lost something precious. The king, noticing his daughter's distress, visited her in her room. "Kioma, my dear, what's troubling you? You seem unhappy." Princess Kioma forced a smile, trying to conceal her true emotions. "It's nothing, father. Just a minor issue with one of my ladies-in-waiting." The king's eyes narrowed, his expression skeptical. "Kioma, I know you too well. You're not telling me the truth. What's really bothering you?" Princess Kioma hesitated, unsure of how to reveal her true feelings. She didn't want to disappoint her father or admit her failed attempt to win Obina's heart. So she continued the charade, hiding her sorrow behind a mask of deceit. The king, though unconvinced, let the matter drop, hoping his daughter would confide in him when she was ready. Within a month, Obina was done with the project he promised the king and his cabinet. He arrived at the palace, prepared to present his report on the road reconstruction project. He was ushered into the king's chambers, where he bowed respectfully before beginning his presentation. "Your Majesty, I'm pleased to report that the project is progressing well. However, I have a crucial request. I would like you to please instruct the villagers to avoid driving on the roads until they are completely dry. We want to ensure their safety and prevent any accidents." The king nodded thoughtfully, impressed by Obina's foresight. "Very well, Obina. I'll issue a decree to that effect. Your dedication to our people's well-being is commendable." Obina smiled, grateful for the king's support. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm committed to delivering a high-quality project that benefits our community." As Obina departed the palace, he felt a sense of pride and purpose. He knew that his work was making a positive impact on the kingdom, and he was determined to continue serving his people with integrity and passion. Meanwhile, Princess Kioma watched Obina leave from a distance, her heart still aching from their earlier encounter. She realized that her father's admiration for Obina was well-deserved, and she began to admire Obina more than before. Ada and Obina's relationship continued to flourish, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They spent countless hours together, exploring the village, sharing stories, and laughing. Obina's kindness, intelligence, and passion for his work captivated Ada, while her beauty, grace, and compassion drew him in. As they strolled through the village, hand in hand, they became an inspiration to the community. Their love was pure, genuine, and strong, a beacon of hope for all to see. They supported each other's dreams, encouraged each other's passions, and lifted each other up in times of need. Their relationship blossomed like a garden in bloom, filled with vibrant colors, sweet fragrances, and beauty. They were each other's rock, each other's home, and each other's safe haven. As they gazed into each other's eyes, they knew that their love was the real treasure, the greatest wealth they could ever possess. One certain day, in the cool of the day, Obina decided to take Ada to village bar to have some drinks. They sat at a cozy bar, sipping their drinks and enjoying each other's company. The soft music and dim lighting created a romantic ambience, perfect for the special moment Obina had planned. As they chatted and laughed, Obina's eyes locked onto Ada's, his gaze filled with adoration. He took a deep breath, his heart racing with excitement. He got down on one knee, pulled out a small box, and opened it, revealing a beautiful diamond ring. "Ada, from the moment I met you, I knew you were special. You light up my life in ways I never thought possible. Will you marry me, please?" Tears of joy filled Ada's eyes as she gazed at Obina, her heart overflowing with love. "Yes, yes, 1,000,000 times, yes." Obina slid the ring onto her finger, and they shared a tender kiss as the stars shone bright outside. The bar patrons erupted in cheers and applause, celebrating the couple's happiness. As they hugged and gazed into each other's eyes, Obina and Ada knew that their love would last a lifetime. They were ready to build a future together, filled with love, laughter, and adventure. Obina, accompanied by Ada, arrived at her parents' house, his heart filled with respect and nervousness. He had come to seek their blessing and permission to marry their beloved daughter. Ada's parents, welcoming Obina with warm smiles, invited him to sit. Obina took a deep breath and began, "Sir, from the moment I met Ada, I knew she was special. I promised to love, cherish, and support her always. I want to ask for your blessing to marry your daughter." Ada's father, looking at his daughter's radiant face, nodded. "Obina, you've shown yourself to be a worthy suitor. We trust Ada's judgment and welcome you into our family." Ada's mother, beaming with joy, added, "We're happy to see our daughter happy. You have our blessing, Obina." Obina's face lit up with gratitude as he thanked them. Ada's parents embraced him, and the four of them shared a warm moment, their hearts filled with love and joy. With their blessing, Obina and Ada's path to marriage was now clear. While Obina awaited the day of his marriage, he decided to visit the king to let him know about his plan. Just as he ushered into the king's palace, he met the king sitting on his throne, and he bowed and greeted him. "Obinna, my son, how are you doing today?" the king asked. "I'm doing great, my king. The first just came to announce to you that I have finally found a wife to marry," Obinna said. "Wow, that's great. I love that. So tell me, who is she?" the king asked, his curiosity piqued. "Ada, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ezi," Obinna replied. I think I know that noble family. I am even trying to recall that name, Ada." "Well, it is fine. I wish you the best of luck. May the gods of our ancestors be with you," the king prayed. "Amen. Thank you, my king," Obinna appreciated. You know what, for your sake I promise to attend the marriage ceremony," the king promised, smiles on his face. "Wow. Thank you very much, my king. That's huge. I really appreciate." Obinna's face lit up with joy, and he thanked the king. The monarch continued, however, "As a member of the royal court, there are certain expectations. Your wedding must be a grand celebration, honoring our kingdom's traditions." Obinna nodded, eager to comply. "I understand, Your Majesty. I will ensure our wedding is a joyous and memorable occasion for our kingdom." The king nodded, satisfied. "I entrust you with this task. May your union bring happiness and prosperity to our kingdom." With the king's approval, Obinna and Ada's wedding plans were set in motion, promising a grand celebration for the entire kingdom. While they were both discussing, Princess Kioma, hiding behind a pillar in the palace, overheard Obinna's conversation with the king. Her eyes widened in shock and anger as she learned of Obinna's plans to marry Ada. How could he, she thought, her mind racing with jealousy and betrayal. "Never! I can't let this happen," she taught, and went to her room angrily. Later in the day, Princess Kioma sought out the village chief priest, a man rumored to possess dark and powerful magic. She found him in his dimly lit hut, surrounded by strange artifacts and eerie sounds. "Chief priest, I need your help," Princess Kioma said, her voice laced with desperation. "I want to make Ada run mad on her wedding day, to humiliate her and ruin her marriage to Obinna." The chief priest's eyes gleamed with malevolence. "I can help you, princess, but it won't come cheap." Princess Kioma didn't flinch. "I'll pay any price. Just make sure Ada suffers." The chief priest cackled, his eyes glinting with evil intent. "Very well, I'll prepare the charms. But you must use them wisely, princess. The consequences of failure will be dire." He handed her a small pouch containing strange, pungent herbs and a vial of dark liquid. "Mix these herbs together and call out her name thrice and issue the curse on her. She'll lose her mind before the ceremony ends." Princess Chioma's face twisted into a cruel smile. "Excellent. Obinna will regret ever rejecting me." With the charms in hand, Princess Kioma left the hut, her heart consumed by darkness and her soul tainted by evil. The news of Ada and Obinna's upcoming wedding spread like wildfire through the village, igniting excitement and anticipation in every heart. The villagers, who had grown fond of the loving couple, couldn't wait to witness their union. "Only 2 days left," exclaimed Nwenei, the village elder's wife, as she helped Ada with her wedding preparations. "I can hardly sleep, thinking about the joy that's coming." The village square buzzed with activity as people from all walks of life gathered to discuss the wedding. Children played and laughed, mimicking the bride and groom's happiness. Obinna's friends, led by his best man, Aina, planned a grand bachelor party complete with music, dance and feasting. "We'll give Obinna a night to remember," Aina declared. Meanwhile, Ada's friends and family worked tirelessly to ensure her wedding day was perfect. Her mother, Mrs. Ezi, beamed with pride as she helped her daughter into her stunning wedding gown. "You'll make a beautiful bride, Ada." As the villagers counted down the hours to the big day, Princess Kioma seethed with anger and resentment, her heart consumed by her dark plan. But for now, the village remained blissfully unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. The big day has finally come. The wedding was supposed to start in 2 hours. Everyone was seated in excitement. The elders in council were prepared. The youths in the community were anticipating who Ada's husband was going to be. Indeed, the atmosphere was clear, joy overflowed in the sky. Ada was indeed grateful for her personality. She never knew her generosity to the villagers and other communities was accounted for and ready to pay her off. Even the people she least expected were present. Just in a moment, she began to hear the drum beat while some of the singers were singing love songs. The villagers accompany the singers as their voices echo the sky. People from the neighboring compound began to come closer as they heard the music beat. The MC of their ceremony was ready as he called out for Chiamaka's husband, Mr. Obinna. Everyone was surprised to see him. He was told to dance before everyone. Mr. Obinna was not a shy person, unlike Ada, who has always been shy to dance before people right from her young age. With boldness, Mr. Obinna danced the best and the elders blessed him. When it was Ada's turn to dance, the MC called out, "Let us welcome our beautiful dear darling wife, Mrs. Ada S. out." As Ada comes out, accompanied by her best ladies, she falls down unconsciously. It was as if something hit her so heavily at the back of her head. She ran mad instantly. She began to dance like a mad woman. Everyone was surprised. Her husband was shocked. He quickly ran to help her out. As he touched her clothes, she shouted at him so angrily as if she didn't know him. In fact, she didn't know anyone at that moment. Ada's screams echoed through the village as she ran wildly, her feet bare and her gown tattered. She dashed through the market stalls, overturning baskets and sending vendors scrambling. Obinna and the villagers gave chase, trying to catch her, but Ada's madness seemed to give her supernatural strength. She ran past the village elder's hut, past the sacred tree, and into the unknown. Her eyes had turned glassy, her skin pale, and her hair dishevelled. She was no longer the beautiful, gentle Ada they knew. The dark magic had consumed her, and she was now a shadow of her former self. As she ran, she tore off her wedding gown, leaving it in tatters on the ground. She ran past the river, where children were playing, and into the dense forest beyond. Obinna was devastated, his heart shattered into a million pieces. He had never felt such helplessness. He called out to her, "Ada, my love, come back. What's happening to you?" But Ada didn't respond. She just kept running, deeper into the forest. The villagers returned to the square, shocked and saddened by the turn of events. The wedding, meant to be a celebration, had turned into a tragedy. Princess Kioma, hidden among the crowd, smiled to herself. Her plan had worked, but she knew she couldn't revel in her victory yet. Obinna would not give up easily. She needed to ensure Ada was gone for good. The next day, Princess Kioma arrived at Obinna's house, her face etched with concern. "Obinna, I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday. I've been thinking, and I believe Ada was possessed by an evil spirit. That's why she ran mad." Obinna, still reeling from the previous day's events, looked at her skeptically. "What makes you think that?" "I've spoken to the village elder, and he agrees with me. We need to perform a ritual to cleanse her of the evil spirit." Obinna shook his head. "I don't know, Princess. I need time to think." Princess Chioma's expression turned sympathetic. "Of course, Obinna. But in the meantime, I want you to consider me as an option. I can help you forget Ada and move on with your life." Obinna's eyes narrowed. "You're asking me to marry you?" Princess Chioma nodded. "Yes, I am. I know it may seem sudden, but I believe we could be happy together." Obinna stood up, his mind racing. "I need time to think, Princess. I promise to get back to you." Princess Chioma smiled, her eyes gleaming with triumph. "I'll wait for your answer, Obinna. But remember, Ada is gone, and I'm here for you." As she left, Obinna couldn't shake off the feeling that Princess Chioma was hiding something. He vowed to uncover the truth behind Ada's strange behavior and Princess Chioma's sudden interest in him. Ada's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Easy's, were consumed by shame and reproach. The villagers, once their friends and neighbours, now mocked and ridiculed them. "Your daughter is a witch," they would cry. "Her madness is a sign of her evil powers." Mrs. Easy would try to defend her daughter, but her words fell on deaf ears. Mr. Ezi, once a prominent and respected man, now walked with his head hung low, unable to face the villagers. Their family's reputation was in tatters. People would point and whisper whenever they passed by. The once respected family was now the subject of scorn and derision. Obinna sat in his dimly lit hut, his mind racing with thoughts of Ada. He couldn't shake off the feeling that Princess Chioma was behind her madness. He needed a plan to restore Ada to her former self. As he pondered, an old wise man from the village, known for his knowledge of ancient remedies, entered the hut. "Obinna, I hear you're searching for a way to restore Ada. I might have a solution." Obinna's eyes lit up with hope. "Please tell me." The old man handed him a small pouch containing a rare herb. "This is the memory keeper. It has the power to reverse the effects of dark magic. But you must use it wisely." Obinna's heart skipped a beat. This could be the answer to his prayers. He thanked the old man and set out to find Ada, determined to restore her sanity. He tracked her down to the outskirts of the forest, where she was wandering aimlessly. He approached her cautiously, holding out the herb. "Ada, my love, I'm here to help you," he whispered. Ada's glassy eyes stared back at him, but Obinna saw a flicker of recognition. He gently forced her to drink the concoction made from the memory keeper. At first, nothing seemed to happen. But then, Ada's eyes began to clear and her gaze focused on Obinna. She whispered his name, and he knew the herb was working. With tears of joy, Obinna embraced Ada, holding her close as she slowly returned to sanity. Obinna led Ada back to her parents' hut, her hand in his. As they approached Mr. and Mrs. Ezi saw their daughter, now restored to her former self, and burst into tears of joy. "Ada, my child, Mrs." Ezi exclaimed, embracing her tightly. "Mr." Ezi joined in, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Obinna, thank you for bringing our daughter back to us. We are forever in your debt." Ada smiled, still a bit dazed but happy to be reunited with her family. "Father, Mother, I'm sorry for what happened. I don't know what came over me." Mrs. Ezi stroked her hair. "It's not your fault, child. We're just glad you're back to normal." Obinna smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "I'm just glad I could help. I love Ada, and I'll do anything to make her happy." "Mr." Ezi placed a hand on Obinna's shoulder. "You've proven yourself to be a true son-in-law. We welcome you into our family with open arms." The family embraced, their happiness palpable. Princess Kioma's plan had been foiled, and love had triumphed.